they can see you just on the very little tiny gap. Just FYI. So we're gonna be painting for our second session tonight. I was gonna start earlier, but I needed to do something to my car. But let's get to start painting. Let's no dilly dally tonight. I've been delaying this. So when I paint, I usually stand up, and I've been wanting to do some lazy painting by sitting. I wonder if sometimes when I paint, the sole fact that I'm standing makes me more active. I feel like it gives more energy to my art. Why is she so much tanner than everybody?
Which one?
Her, on the right. But anyway, Bridgerton. Are you watching Bridgerton? Good old Bridgerton is the wonderful show. It's a wonderful show. Penelope. Penelope. Penelope is hither. Are you hither now? Hither 2, 4. Hither 2, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. And a 1, 2, 3. Bridgerton. 1, 2. Bridgerton, Bridgerton. Mr. Bridgerton. Mr. and Mrs. Bridgerton is here. Hello, Bridgertons. Alright, enough of a fake British accent here. Let's get to our real painting time. Let me just get the brushes that I want prepared instead of like constantly going back for it. So here's the brush I want. Here's the brush I want. Here's another brush I want. Let me grab these 3 brushes. Oh, my big brushes aren't getting much use tonight. Alright, so how are we going to do this? We want to lay down some good old yellow. Let me go with some yellow ochre. And drop down some yellow ochre right now. And then we're going to drop down a little bit of a medium yellow. Medium yellow. Yellow. A little bit of yellow there. Here's some yellow. A little cad yellow medium. The yellow medium. I like cad yellow medium because it's medium. It's not too bright and citrusy, and it's not too dark and ochre-y. So it's like a nice balance of yellow. The earliest, yes, Bowinator is number 1 or number 2. Bowinator is number 1 or number 2. How exciting is that? But here we have a painting. Here we go. We have a painting. Let's get painting. This figure right here around the head, I want to establish a little better. So let's go in with a little bit of an ochre here. We're just going to go in around the head. I want to tighten up his head area right there. And there's something going on in this section right here. This fella right here has something going on. So let's try to tighten up the area around this guy's head here. So we're going to go right into here. And establish this space around this guy. Makes his head look a little flat, but that's okay. Or the side of his head looks a little flat, but we're gonna go and let this guy who's just standing here by himself.
In fact, it may be best if we keep our distance.
Of course.
I'm serious about my prospects.
Prospects are important.
You got in at 44 seconds. Nice. That painting is looking awesome. Thanks. Do you like this? Have you ever seen this movie, Bowinator? The Gladiator? What do you think about this movie? Are you a fan? The Gladiator? Obviously, I've shared my opinion of it multiple times. It is, I consider it one of the greatest movies of all time. But you know what? My opinion is not law. I know that might be confusing to people because people think that what I say is absolute truth and law, but I'm going to go ahead and say right here that it's not. And my opinion is open to discussion. Yes, that's right. We can discuss opinions, people. What's up, Pookie? Why are you being weird? Are you seeking attention right now, Pookie? I'm talking to my cat. I'm not talking to any of you. I think my cat is seeking attention right now. In the most cutest of ways, she jumped up on a table and made a noise. Let's go into here.
How vast is this estate? Are you enjoying reading them?
How vast is his estate, really? Yes, but not the whole. You didn't see all of Gladiator? That means you didn't like the movie that much. All right. Well, you know what? Maybe my age is showing the fact that, you know, it was probably one of the best movies of my generation growing up. But I could see how it could bore somebody. Maybe. I can see, I just don't get it, but I see. Right?
Anyone asks for me, I am.
You should know. I spoke to her.
What'd she say?
I apologized for being silly about it.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
And there we go. We've got another figure. And let's just work our way across the top with all of these figures in the background. That's what we're working on tonight. That's what we worked on yesterday. Kat, we can see you. Just there's Kat sitting there. She's eating her pizza. Hey, Kat. Say what's up.
Hey.
The people want to know who you are.
I'm Kathleen, goddess of Hollywood. Yeah, it's Cincinnati.
Kathleen Roy. Yeah, I really like how this is looking. This surface. So, you know, I want to like keep that up. And, you know, this is a great surface to just keep laying down like my excess colors. Like anytime I have like excess color on my brush, this is like a perfect space to just like lay down some of it because it just creates this really rugged texture. And it kind of gives this character like this feeling of like danger, you know? He's just like, what is this? This guy's got blood all over him. Did he like poop his pants? Is he, you know, why is he in the front? Why is this guy's back turns towards us? That's so unusual, right? Like, you should never do a painting or a view of somebody with their back turned towards you. That breaks all the rules. We're breaking rules right now. All right, I've been playing with this reddish brush, so let me put this down, and let me find a greenish brush. I wanna start tightening up these people. So I can't really see them, but I can't really see them in an image, so I pretty much have to make them up as I go, which means, you know, a combination of like making up colors, but also let's see, this guy's got like a flat top. Got a flat top. Give him a little bit of gray on top of this hair. Let's see how we can use this brush to bring in our yellows into this. But I'm glad I could finally make a painting that is really enjoyable for people of all all interest. You know what I think is like, not only do I capture, you know, like anybody who likes this movie, which if they like it, they're probably like, you know, over the age of 30 or over the age of like 25. But I think gladiators in general are just freaking cool, right? Who doesn't think gladiators are cool? The whole idea of being able to fight your way to the top of society, fight your way out of poverty, I mean, out of, you know, out of slavery. And I'm talking like, you know, ancient slavery, not more recent forms, which, you know, there's a little bit of a difference. You know, I think, but I'm not going to dive into that. You know, just to think about like ancient Roman being captured as a prisoner of war, being submitted to slavery, and the only way that you can escape from that is by winning lots and lots of fights to the death. It is pretty wild what gladiators had to do. They had to fight lions and like, you know, other warriors, and it's just crazy the stories of gladiatorial battle. And I think the truth is no one ever is really going to escape that life, right? Like, I think that's what's suggested in most movies, is that no one really escapes the life. You know, it's not like Conor McGregor, who fought his way up, and like, you know, is now the greatest billionaire fighter. But like, or Floyd Mayweather, you know, coming from some very humble beginnings. You know, I don't think it was possible back then that you could actually fight your way out. First of all, because things were to the death, so you had to get really lucky, and then you had to like stop making money for the empire, because the empire, you know, the empire depended on you to make their income. And if it didn't have its greatest gladiator, well, they weren't going to make as much money. They weren't going to entertain their people. Ah, she has come to a decision as to who he shall be. Well, who is it then? Spit it out. Spit it out, Bridgerton. Do tell what you've come to understand.
Come now, Louise. I'm as old as you are to be kind to her, but I'm certain that this Caesar is yet another weird creature in need of defense. Preferring what the kind-hearted husband would.
Perhaps. I should warn you, Penelope is not as defenseless as one might expect.
Neither am I. We're not all so lucky to have the support of our families as you do. Marrying me would be my only way of feeling such support. Old Gamblin is good-natured. And most of all, my choice. Will you help me?
Would you like to read books on natural history? I can lend you.
Perfect.
My mother had 5 boys. Took this every time.
We're just going to keep building out all our characters. That's the goal here, is to build out our characters. So let's go ahead and try to find some hair colors here.
You might feel a little pressure in the belly.
It's actually not too bad. Unexpectedly too.
Can't see any of these people's faces, so I basically have to make up their haircuts. fine.
Chamber pot, chamber pot.
What'd she say?
Chamber pot, chamber pot.
Chamber pot, chamber pot, chamber pot, chamber pot.
That salad was delicious. Go make yourself.
A salad. Chamber pot. B. What's up, B? How's it going, dude?
Indeed. And now that you're feeling better, ready to fly in Rubens' mystery.
What are they talking about?
Apparently, a great balloon enthusiast.
And here we go. Let's go. I feel like, do these people, would royalty have like hats and crowns? I feel like they would have hats and crowns. I should watch clips from this movie again, but let me see. Watch another clip.
I'm well. Surprisingly well. Colin Lord Devon has shown an interest in me.
Is that where it's from?
Who else was that? No. Perhaps it's someone I was caring so much about how I perceive them. Accepting myself.
Do you feel some attachment today?
It is only. It does sometimes know the character. It's not that unpleasant against it. Thank you. I sugar in my face.
No. You
Wish me luck.
good luck.
I've prepared my thoughts on that silly little man in that booklet. It's actually quite charming. Shame they are in danger of becoming extinct.
The great hall. I won't otherwise. Devlin may not appreciate you calling his life's work silly.
I do hope he wants to talk about birds and balloons. Isn't he fly?
The great hall is
Scrapper. Magnificent balloon, isn't it?
Have you ever balloon?
Trying to get an idea of like what people might be wearing in this part, because it's a raised area. That these people have more influence, power as far as
Is there some reason you were trying to escape civilization, my lord?
Oh, the pursuit of natural beauty.
as far as the people. They're gonna have nicer clothes.
Do you want to return to the family?
Trying to fit in with my family is like trying to force a camel through the eye of a needle. Rather than shrink my sides, I decided long ago to forge my own path, far away from them. If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Oh, there's a good shot. Let me full screen this.
It's very good.
8, 7, 6, 5.
My lord, I do not wish to intrude.
Nonsense. I'm about to embark on another trip no one but my crew.
Let me take a screenshot of this. Oops. How do I get a screenshot of this?
Eloise, what's the name of that bird I saw in your idol?
The great hall.
Alright, some of them have
I am making every effort to prevent
dark hair. Some of them have lighter hair.
I know. So dreadful.
I could play with this.
Did you know they mate for life? I find that so touching. I love birds. as well. Do you not think that
Let's go with some reds. And I'm gonna go reds in this hair right here.
one should not overlook the sparrow?
I suppose one should not.
Bridgerton. Who exactly is Bridgerton?
That's it. It's a family.
Ah.
It's a family name.
Bridgertons are a family. Okay. So we got this lighter brush. So since we got this lighter brush, let's go ahead and this figure actually looks pretty good. This guy actually looks pretty good.
Families they call the ton. They're all the royal families, the ladies and lords and dukes and duchesses. And
Ooh, that sounds exciting. On the hunt. I'm gonna go for a darker color to outline around right here.
All these events, I actually miss spending time at home. Must we attend tonight's ball?
What is the rule?
We can do whatever we want.
And there we go. Just let that fade into the background a little bit. A couple of white highlight. Let's see what we can do about this highlight or this background. This background, what do I want to do? I'm going to go find a nice brown. I want to bring the dark, make this background a bit darker.
My apologies.
Why?
Because of me.
What is the use of such maneuvers?
I am sorry. What is this tin?
So you all are certainly filling it from there.
Ha!
This man's ingenuity will drive forward practical progress. I came here to listen to someone who thinks differently, not to hear the familiar chorus of what cannot be done.
What cannot be done.
Outspoken woman, which is quite unusual.
For that time.
Yes.
Did you have another comment, or?
No.
But I'm pretty sure none of this is actually accurate, right?
I do so enjoy learning about the passions of others.
Huh?
Huh?
None of this is like accurately reflective. It's a idealized version
Of what?
of life in ancient.
It's not ancient.
Well, like-
It's 200 years ago.
That's pretty ancient.
Is it?
A great friend of mine,
I think.
Lord Summerdarby, has
It's
been
very
living in
accurate.
Vienna, but
Really?
has returned to London, specifically to
Okay.
meet you. He's a Marquis.
Marcus. Where's Marquis?
Miss Francesca. I had a great deal of
I beg you not to disappoint.
And here we go, just filling in the back here, creating some dignified figures.
Yes, electrifying, is it not?
Mamas.
Modifying their shapes.
I spent a little time this weekend. In fact, I find myself quite happy with this marriage. I do. As well. Much prefer the natural ways of unnatural life. There is nothing I love more than grass.
Harass? Is that what she said?
house you so love, I suppose.
Oh, so green.
This is quite green.
All right, let's see how this is looking as we build up these people in the background here. That's okay if there's a little blood on the floor. It looks like there's blood, which is perfectly fine. But I do want to bring in,
I cannot believe there'd be anything untoward besides his untoward love of vegetables.
You know what? I need to get a screenshot here.
Do you think that was normal?
All right, let's figure out these folks right here. We're gonna give them some. We need to add some white, some lighter shades of white to get their clothing.
This woman thought kissing was having sex.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But it's not.
And she was married to him. And
What?
That's what she thought sex was.
Really?
Yes. Her mother didn't even tell her how to have sex.
Is that her mother's responsibility?
Well, who else is going to tell her? Her husband didn't know.
What do you mean her husband didn't know?
He didn't know what to do.
Oh.
So he didn't do anything. But they want to have a baby. They don't even understand how babies are made.
Oh.
Well, it's England. In the 17th, in the 19th century. Oh, 19th century. They didn't talk about such things. But men usually went out and figured it out, and then they got married, and they knew what to do. But her husband didn't.
Find some blues back here. So she's gonna be wearing a blue. Miss Bridgerton. Miss Bridgerton.
Wow. Got it just in time.
What'd they get?
She was almost knocked over by a hot air balloon. It was out of control.
Not the Bridgerton.
That was Penelope Featherington.
Just saved her?
Yep.
Bridgerton saved her?
No. Lord Harding. Who's like the richest one there.
This woman's dress is very complicated.
Is it not? It was a good thing my mum didn't. Who says I wasn't?
Oh! Ow! My ankle. I think I was hit by one of the ropes.
And let's see. All right, we've got these figures. We've got this dude in the background. Let's add another red back here. Let's add a nice deep. Let's add a nice deep red. Good music.
Yeah, music is great.
Ah!
What happened?
It slipped.
Oh no! Can you fix it?
Yes. You can always fix things with oil painting.
Good.
You were sporting me tonight.
More like using me as a shield.
Everybody saw that? This little slippage. I don't really. I can't say I'm a big fan of this rod. This maul stick. It's supposed to help you have better stability, but I think what happens is because this it's like round. I usually use this. What you're supposed to do is put it against the surface like that, a nice flat surface, and then rest it. The actual painting surface. Not this little slidey thing I have up here. So I keep smacking my painting where, you know, I think the real technique is you're going like this. But I'm so used to using my ruler, my stainless steel heavy duty ruler here. I'm so used to using this, and it just stays flat on the surface. And maybe, you know, everybody's got their own tools for things, so you know, you got to use the right tools for the right job. But someone asked me a question today: how far am I going to push this? I don't know.
Use the proper tool.
I don't know exactly how far we're going to push this painting. We're just going to keep going until,
Oh wow, cool.
you know, I don't feel like
The spectators.
until I don't feel like going anymore. Which, who knows how long that can be? I can go for a long time.
Don't forget there's garlic bread.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
So I want to reduce the size of this. Can you make some?
It's made. Just have to heat it up.
Can you just stick it in the oven?
Let me know when you're ready because I'm just gonna put it in the light. It only takes a minute.
It tastes better in the oven.
This is the one that was already in the oven, so it just needs to be reheated, and it'll be really good because the mic doesn't take the moisture out.
We're reducing the size of the sword
Hi,
now.
You're so cute, Bookster. You grow by the minute. You're so big. Yes, you're so big. I'll buy a toothbrush for you. Yes, a nice toothbrush.
Just want to reduce the size of the sword. Just by a little. Try to make it like an accurate sword, you know? Let's keep going. We can actually add a little bit of this highlight around the edge here. There we go, that's looking pretty good. A little bit of this highlight around the top of this.
Hello, babies.
Just ochre here. All right, let me find a scrappier brush. A brush that's like rougher, that allows me to... Oh, it's not good. Brush that's gonna give me a little bit more density, so that I can add a little bit more freely, because these brushes don't create this smooth surface. And it kind of creates like a, there we go, that's, I like that surface. Smooth this out. Creates a whole different look right there. All right, that feels tightened up. Let's just keep moving across. I keep getting distracted. Earlier, I was very happy for, being able to get myself to just stick to like one idea at a time. This might be a great brush to go paint into the space back there.
Come on, let me put this in your mouth. Come on. I know you don't like it, but you must have it. Hold still. Hold still. Trying again with you. I want you to die. Come on, take the medicine. Damn it, take the medicine. Just take it. Come on. Take it. Take the medicine. Can you help me?
Me?
Yeah. Come on, I have everything ready. I just can't get her mouth open.
Just can't get her mouth open?
Yes.
So what do you need me to do? Just grab her?
Yes. So put this in. Just press down the plunger. Do this to her. She hates it. Ah! See what I mean?
What do you got here?
Ow!
Burn.
Well, now.
Here, you do it.
Ow! Where is it?
Right there.
Here, you gotta take it. You don't like to do this to me. Thank you. It's horrible. I know, I'm sorry, Carl. So sorry.
Cat needs medication.
Thank you.
No, definitely. I'm so grateful for saving me my time.
You are most welcome. Are you well now?
All right. Yes, had to give her her medication, or else she will probably die later. What's up, Pookie? Alright, back to this. So I was working with this brush. I really like this brush right now. I'm really liking it. So I'm just going to continue painting.
Blocking my view.
Continue painting into here, give it the reds.
7 is quite a rare number indeed.
Go.
And I'm going to come down here. Get rid of some of this color here. These yellows that give it this like haze, this. Pookie, if you touch the paint, I'm going to say your name a bunch of times. Pookie, 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 go. Apes. She's a little.
What'd you do? Jump on your face?
She purposely slapped her tail on the painting.
Of course, so make sure you get the paint off her tail.
But she's like pretending like she can't see it. She's like looking the other way. Pookie, let me. Pookie, go. She purposely slapped her. Who saw that? She purposely slapped her tail on the painting. Cat. Oh, it's too bright. How is this happening?
You are here.
You are here.
I've met my brother.
My brother.
Your brother?
Lord Marcus Anderson. It is a pleasure to form you.
Violet Bridgerton. Lady Bridgerton without foreman. But Marcus.
Alright, let me try to find. I actually like the way some of these clothes look. They're not too specific. Let's see if we can find add on our reds here just to define our colors of these outfits a little better. Like this red right here, she needs a better red. They're all wearing red. He's got like a dark, I'm gonna give him like a purple. The royalty wears red.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Forgive me, I'm sorry.
Maybe it's some quiet. It's supposed to be right.
They're pretty much all wearing versions of red. And let's go, we're gonna add in some black. We will add in some black just to darken certain areas, to create some patterns of color. Some, you know, shadow in areas where we might find some.
Hello again. I am surprised to see you here. After all, a ballroom is Mama's favourite hunting ground.
But in fact, I braved this nest of mothers and pipers to find you, and I had hopes to be able to properly receive an introduction. Benedict Richardson.
Oh, I know you're here. It is on everything.
I think the true test of this painting will be, can people tell
Towards me because I simply
which areas I painted that I actually had a reference, and in which areas I painted that did not have a reference. And that would be a good way for people to tell. But you know, it looks like people, right? I think we passed the test. If it looks like people, we passed the test. We're gonna go with this person has long hair, so she's gonna have some long hair, long flowy hair. Maybe give it a little bit of a brown or ochre. That is a mistake. That. And these people have like gold lining. So let's try to find some gold lining. Let's find some gold lining on these figures here. We're gonna add some gold yellow. Some yellow. Just little highlights of yellow, that's it. Just these little highlights of yellow give it a feel of like, you know, these people are like royalty in a way.
This is still your establishment. Lord Garrett, it is indeed. Come to the upcoming hunt. Very much looking forward to it. Mr. Monk, if you are going to be a part of society, you must know you cannot continue to run this place. Members of society do not work.
You know what? It's the perfect time to add some jewelry. Let's throw some jewelry on these figures.
If you shoot as well as you pour, I do hope to see you on the hunt.
That's not gonna appear right now, so.
Members of society do not work. You need to be a member of society.
Courage is within us all.
Alright, let's go find our pink. Put some skin tones on these figures here. And she probably needs, let's give this character, oh, you know what? She's kind of sitting, looking. So let's give her,
Excuse me, I'm fetching Miss Capper.
I am afraid I have not been honest with you.
Pardon me?
Art. I do not love it. I do not hate it, but I much prefer being indoors.
I see.
The person I was earlier today. I was pretending to be someone I'm not. I do not wish to do this anymore.
let's go with this
Person
dark
was
red here.
someone
I'm
who
gonna
was
improve the shape here, which is pretty horrible.
and someone who basically work or exploring that for a while, someone who does enjoy watching birds, but specifically from the windowsill, someone who's over-explaining themselves a lot.
I over-explain myself. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with anything I do. If I don't do it, then it's whatever. But if I do it, nothing wrong with it.
If only we had talked about nature, my dinner party would have taken the seas altogether. I do not wish to court someone.
And let's see how we can do her hair. Gotta do this person's hair.
Who they are, and embraces their own peculiarity, as I do. As I believe you do as well.
Yo, Omizu.
Where's Omizu from?
I think Omizu is from Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Finally, you're unoccupied and been putting period all night. You should return at any moment.
Ohio. Omizu is an Ohioan. Ohio gozaimasu.
Perhaps it is for the best.
That's Japanese for hello gozaimasu.
Hey,
And make her arm a little bit smaller.
come here.
Do some of the remnants around the arm. A little bit of a cyclops right now.
Take it on. It's yours. It's yours for the taking.
Add some facial features.
Anything there's.
Just starting the facial features. Nothing too specific.
I wish for Francesca the same thing I wanted for myself. For Anthony, for Daphne. Passion.
And I'll definitely fill in these facial features later. They do look like people, right? It is pretty cool. I like that. I like where this is at.
But it is
I like being able to like my own paintings.
for both parties to then feel more.
And how did you and father reciprocate?
All right, you know what? We're gonna take a break on this. I feel like I've painted the majority of the people. I'm going for about 48 minutes. I'm actually gonna use up the rest of my blues. So, you know what? Let me put these brushes to the side for a minute. I might come back to this, but I want to use up my blues before the end of the night because I can tell when my paint's about to get too dry. Too dry for me to use it. So usually what I have to do is I just have to use it as a use it to cover up the canvas.
Finally, face your admirers. Are you well?
There was a question.
Oh, looks like the cats got into this canvas and we're chewing on it.
They do best.
Let's Just let them chew on an entire canvas.
Find the truth of your admirers. There you go.
There's a question.
Miss Featherington, I believe it's time for our dance. I believe it's time for our dance. Alright, let's we're gonna move this painting to the side for just a few moments. Put this to the side. Let's go like this. We're gonna paint over this to prepare it for another session. To prepare for a different session, a different painting session. Let's drop this down and get really rough with it.
I really had to know your dance steps.
You did?
Look, it's all
Is that Emily's name?
Well, they had all the time in the world to do so. If they were in the royal family.
right.
That was literally their job, was to give an image, an appearance that you knew what you were doing in your life. Alright, who's ready to slap on some paint? Slap on some paint, baby. So, as you can tell here, maybe you can't tell, but I'm just going to take a bunch of blue because it's starting to dry. It has a dry layer. I'm just going to lay it down. So you can start to tell that some of it's like starting to get these boogers on it. So I'm just going to cover this with a nice blue. Let me see if I can get the rest of my brown here. Get my blues and browns that are drying up. And then we're going to scrape off some of the boogers. This is not proper technique, by the way, people. Not proper technique at all for preparing your canvas. I mean, it's not like totally wrong. You can totally prepare a canvas like this with an underpainting, and it's not like wrong as much as it is. There is a sophisticated way to do it, and then there is the way that I do it when I just have extra paint. And this may or may not become a full-fledged painting. Like my last, the one that I've been working on, as you've been watching on this stream, the Gladiator one. That was, that was on a canvas that I was messing around on. That was totally on a canvas that I did not plan to use it for anything.
Move more slowly.
Move more slowly. Move more slowly. I'm not making fun of them. I'm trying to really study their verbiage, their word usage.
I have bought you a plant so that you might continue to enjoy
Move more slowly. So just adding lots and lots of mineral spirits. which helps to improve the spreadability of the paint. Once I get the center, I can start to spread it outwards. What is the method to this madness? All I'm trying to do is get a nice colored canvas. I like to experiment with all types of different colored underpaintings. Most people, you know, they might just like, they might have like one color. They might just do like red. And when I say most people, I mean like most great artists. Most good artists will have like a color that they use. Like I know one artist who just loves to use like a cad red. And that cad red allows all of her like landscape paintings to have like have a look underneath. And I know most people would never use black, but you know my last painting was with a black underpainting. So you know, just food for thought. Like this is not a tutorial, but I will say, you know, I can, you know, share the things of what I'm doing, why I'm doing this. Sometimes there's no purpose, but right now there is a purpose, and that is literally just to get some color, to get a nice colored canvas. Ooh, no! Why do I keep doing that? I keep like slipping and hitting my other painting. So just gonna spread it around the outside. Continue moving towards the edges. There should be enough paint here for me to get all the way around. So just keep brushing this along the outside. See, ultimately the goal is the same, right? You know, right now the goal is just to have a color underneath so that you can have a establishing color when you start painting. So I definitely plan to let this, you know, this dry at least for a day or two, at least a couple days. I'm not going to be painting on this tonight. Or I might, I don't know, I might try to like mess around and do like a design on it or something, I don't know. But I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Sometimes I don't decide until after. But here we go.
I'm accustomed to the staff of the estate being my home. It is that very lack of society that brought me back, not to mention a lack of ladies.
Well, they also work out perfectly.
Lack of ladies.
Occupied a good while. Thus, you are free to meet with as many ladies as you like. When heart and head are in contact, every thought you feel like one person in whose thought and feeling are united is Her Majesty Queen Charlotte. After their meeting at the Birthday Ball, it seems the Queen's partner, Mr. Georgian, may be.
So the wetter you can get it, I use mineral spirits right now. I'm using mineral spirits.
You can read from all the way back there.
With much practice, anything is possible.
Then I am pleased we are so well practiced in making music exquisite melodies. We shall read on concert.
I think there's even a more efficient way of doing this by using. I think you use like a rag. Spread it with the rag.
Take another pace back.
If I was to think of an actual like practical reason that someone would do it this way by letting the paint be really thick, other than just trying to use up the paint, I think it would be if you want to start off with a specific type of texture on your painting. Because I think what this does is it gives you like a thicker initial layer. So you get like a thicker initial layer, which lets you to allows you to build, you know, texture on top. Whereas if you do it like super thin and flat, and you're using like a rag to spread it, you won't get the same type of effect. It'll be much, you have like a much cleaner canvas if you do it with the rag, I think. That's my guess. I don't do it with the rag too much, but when I do, you know, it's flatter. Like this, you can see there's like raised surfaces, and when oil paint dries, you know, that's one wonderful thing about oil paint is it's gonna have these ridges in your painting. So, you know, if you really like that really tight finish on a painting, I mean, this is totally like the opposite of the way you want to do it. But, you know, if you like to experiment with color, if you like this process just in itself, it might be worth it for you. You know, just this process of like painting in a canvas, even if it's not going to lead to anything, even if you're just going to paint over it anyway. This is actually fun for me. I enjoy this. Not fun for everyone. If there's any artist out there who just wants me to paint a bunch of canvases like this so that they can paint on top of it, let me know. I will do it for you for a very low price of $999 per hour. All right, here we go. So we're going to keep expanding towards the edge. We're going to go past our edge here. Push this past the edge. I'm not like married to having to paint the edge.
There was another calling. Lord Samagon, Miss Manchester, Lady Bridgerton, good day. Mr. Bridgerton, Miss Bridgerton, and you must be Miss Hyacinth, I presume?
Hyacinth.
Miss Francesca. It's a pleasure to see.
Good day, Lord Samagon.
What's his name? Lord Sumerdali?
Samadani.
Lord Sumerdali.
But I was just leaving. Good day.
Lord Summerdowney, huh?
Samadani.
Sumerdani. That's not British.
British Empire is all over the world.
Who's the third lord to suggest that you must give up the battle?
It seems that
All right, and let's go add one more edge here.
alleged concern.
A concern is
One more edge down around the bottom.
done, they will surely find something else on which to fixate.
You believe I should do as they would wish? Give up all that we have built?
Also, not even think of saying that we should embrace all that we have now. Why burden yourself with traditions that will only cause further confusion?
I'm not the one who is confused. I keep my club.
All right, you know what? I think we're done for the night. So hope that was exciting for everybody. It was as exciting as it was for me. But you know what? There's people here. I don't want to disappoint by, you know, totally not doing anything, actually. So let's just like, should I waste some paint? Let's waste some paint. Let's just see what happens on a canvas like this. Let's just go in and paint where we start to see various colors here. You know, let's just do some extra painting for the joy of it. Sometimes people don't speak up, so I don't know exactly, you know, where or what to continue. But you know what? Sometimes it's nice to just. So this surface is really, really wet. Really wet with mineral spirits. So this paint is just going to spread like water almost. Except, you know, don't drink it. Don't drink it. Just, you know, it's just going to spread like water. And I don't know what this is creating, honestly. Like the beauty of oil paint really comes from the ability to like mix colors on a surface really well, like the ability to create raised surfaces. Let's go.
I find books
I don't even,
I had a collection of over
do I need to explain this?
Nothing a book likes more than to be connected. Yes, why?
Does great art need an explanation? Do my masterpieces need a curator? No. My paintings need no explanations.
Tragedy of a spinster whose father is out dancing to marry her to one of his aging friends. Sounds like German literature.
I want to use up the rest of the black here because I don't think I'm going to use it again in my other painting. So might as well get it rolling now. Get the best of it now. Get all this color mix.
I think I can accompany you. I could use it if you've done it yourself.
Grab some gray. Do a nice thick layer of gray here.
No. Ellie. It's really nice.
Was it first read?
Comes next.
Very pale, look at that. But in truth, I find myself drawn back time and time again to stories of love.
And what is it about those stories that interests you?
There are histories of connection, hope for a better life. Does that make me sound terribly backward?
Miss Featherington, I'm happy to learn that you have a passion. One that brings you such joy as my research painting. You are a lucky man. Are there any novels in which the man goes travelling for a very long time and his wife is happy to stay behind tending the estate? I suppose that would not be a book with much sentiment, would it?
Not necessarily. But if the wife has her own interests in life, then perhaps things may be very happy.
A practical match. But a happy one? I like the sound of that. And how, dare I ask, might this fictional gentleman ask for the young lady's hand? Especially if she had no male relative. If you were writing the book, that is.
Well, I suppose you'd have to ask her mother.
I see. And if her mother gave her blessing, do you think she would say yes?
No. What do you think, Kat?
And you'd have to look at
I think she's gone from no prospects at all to one love interest and one practical interest.
One what interest?
Practical,
Practical?
yes.
One love interest, one practical
Whoa.
interest?
Here it is with this threesome again.
Oh, is he dreaming or is this real?
No, this is real.
How do you know?
Because he's been doing it.
Just gets lots and lots. Who are the threesomes with?
Loose women. They're certainly not royalty.
Why? Just because they do threesomes?
Because the royalty would be too afraid of them finding out. No, they're prostitutes. He's already paid. So they're gonna kiss each other.
Yeah, hey, take care. Thank you. Yes. I'm pretty much done for the night, but just adding some excess expressions for no reason other than to just paint. Where will this go? Nobody knows if it even flows.
If the Marquis asks you to dance a second time and calls for it, is it a clear declaration of interest? We shall see if he asks about dance this time. Something tells me he will. But if that interest is not shared,
There's your motto. Do you know his father?
they're rather reserved and punishment to keep to themselves. Are you interested too?
Good day, Lord Martin.
Lady Britain,
someone would find this painting beautiful.
I hoped I might see you at the unavailability collection today. And so,
What was that about? My goodness.
Enjoyable music. Yes.
I could just like, I definitely feel like this is a style you just keep building up and up and up. This feels like something that would have been made in like 1980, 1970.
a song like this would be far sweeter if it were played in free chords and one could in fact feel music.
That's helpful. Excuse me.
This is how I used to do a lot more streams, is I would just like do these random paintings.
To answer
I
your
feel like I've done it less because my canvases get bigger. And of course, you know, the amount of paint that is needed gets more. It's easy with the, you know, it's fun and easy with the small canvas. You just kind of like mess around, and then, you know, you barely use a couple squirts of tubes.
Hey, what are you doing in
You
there?
barely use a couple squirts of paint. And now as I use more paint, it's like, whoa, that's so much paint. I use like an entire, the tubes that I started with, the 12 milliliter tubes, I pretty much use up like, this is probably like 2 or 3 of those tubes. Like 2 or 3 12 milliliter tubes. But you know what? For the sake of painting. And I definitely think that over time, you know, if I was to just let this painting be, I could just let it build and build and build. Day after day, as it gets drier and drier, just build on these same colors over and over and see where it takes me. I'd like to do that. Maybe that's what I'll do with this canvas. I don't know if I like the idea though of like doing an abstract painting that just takes like weeks at a time. I don't know. How do you find the beautiful shapes? You just do. What is this? I don't know, but it looks nice. Not to be seen with that. They transgender? Is that a cross-dresser? In the back.
Who?
The person that was in the back.
Her father?
No, that person wearing a dress in the background of that scene.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
This is maybe staff.
2/3 of the laws enclosed in accounts.
Okay, you don't have to yell.
No, I'm not yelling.
Just asking.
Perhaps a new decorator.
Nothing wrong with, you know, cross-dressing or trans or whatever. Just, I was curious if that's what they had. That's who was in the background.
Look, I didn't even notice who you were talking about. Okay. Which person are you talking about?
Right there in the background.
That's Miss Cowper.
Oh, okay.
No, she's wait. Female.
That makeup makes her look very masculine.
Oh.
I think it's the makeup. Alright. Let's see, maybe we'll take some of these brushes here. And let's just use these brushes to just see what happens.
Perhaps a new decorator.
Justin Bua, where are you? Justin Bua. Critique my painting.
On my grand tour, I encountered this figure in the balconies. I barely looked the other way while we
I'm summoning the powers of Justin Bua.
for 6 months straight.
The influence of Justin Bua.
Sounds like the young woman who made my time in the French Quarter was worth the length of the voyage. Much to offer. I do not know. What about you, Bridgerton? You were
What about you, Bridgerton?
Surely bells of summer made your trip quite fulfilling.
What about you, Bridgerton? Ah, Mr. Bridgerton. Did I tell you that? Oh.
Necessity holds for us to remain cavalier about the one thing in life that holds genuine meaning. Do you not find it lonely?
No.
Nope.
Oh, man who can have anybody is suffering from loneliness.
He's tired of all the casual sex.
Oh.
He wants to have somebody who cares about him.
Oh.
Like someone, Penelope.
Uh-oh. Paint dripping off to the other side.
I consider sort of
I
like
don't know where this paint came from, but whatever.
which is too bad.
Am I being insensitive and unempathetic? Guess I am. This was a fun piece to make, I gotta say. I really had fun making this. And I feel like this is something I'm just gonna continue building on. It feels very like Art Deco meets Expressionism. I mean, part of me always wants to just like do a painting like this, just leave it and just have the gravitas as a brand to just be able to sell this piece right here. But I know that is not the case, so I'll probably paint over with something else. But anyway, it's not the case right at this very second, at least. Can be. Maybe I'll save this for 40 years, and then it will be worth a lot. But anyway, everybody, you have a great night. Thank you for being here, tuning in, watching a live stream on painting. Great. All right. See you, everybody. Bowenator, Omizu. I don't know if you're still here. Brogan. All y'all take care.